Alright. Here we go. Yesterday we were talking about regional anatomy, and we need to talk about sections, bisections. This is sort of covered in that packet, but we can talk about it in the next class. So a lot of times doctors, physicians, medical personnel need to understand sections because when they do the imaging or the techniques that we're going to talk about, they're going to be taking basically imaging slices through different planes of the body. Hold on. Hey. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yes? Okay, let me go. I'm teaching, I'm recording. I don't know. I'm sure, actually. Okay. Yes, actually. Okay, well, I'll take a poll, and then I'm going to have to draw straws or something. Okay. Benefit. Yep. Okay. Bye. Sorry, Dr. White wants to know who's interested in going.
Dang it.
What?
We were trying to get someone to bet on who it was.
Oh,
And they thought it was Fletcher.
no, it's Dr. White. Is anybody interested in going tomorrow today if they just
Where we
go?
go.
Because he's not going.
Wait, do I have to?
I want to go.
No, you're just going as an observer.
I want to go.
Okay, we only have one slot, so raise your hand. I'm gonna have to draw like a random number.
Can I do random numbers?
Just raise your hand.
I only want to go like numbers.
Hush, I'm doing it. Raise your hand. I'm gonna write down names.
I don't know if I was like this. I have to be on a flight.
Seriously. Okay, listen, these are the stipulations. You have to be there at 7:30 in the morning. It's at USC we're on the second floor at Russell House. You have to dress nicely, professionally. You're not presenting, you're just there observing. And lunch is provided. You'll probably be done by 3 or 3:30. You have to have your own ride.
This was me.
I don't know. Sandwich. Is anyone who is interested? Seriously. Like, raise your hand. Alright, you're number 1. You're number 2. You have to have done a research project so far. 3 and 4. Only 4 people? You interested?
No, stop.
Hey, wait, okay, y'all are being like, what's this? He's like, yes, or no?
I don't know yet. Well,
Here we go. Alright. Get my phone. Can you go? Alright, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 individuals. You're number 1, you're number 2, you're number 3, number 4. I'm seriously doing the random order.
On your phone, that's great.
you should let someone else hit enter so that you can be like Sablo and not have bias somehow.
Oh no.
I just said going to 4 and what do you mean it's not random?
Because that's random.org. No, because it's random.org and that one uses generation by sound. And so essentially, because the classroom was silent, it's always going to give you 1.
But it wasn't silent. Y'all were just really loud.
This is not.
Random.org.
Yeah, let's redo it.
Yeah. And that's 2, Steve. You're big. I got 3. Dude, I got 3.
Oh wait, go see Dr. White.
Yeah, it's atmospheric noise. Yeah. Dude, I got
All right.
Let's use random.org because it's reliable.
Anyways, okay. Sorry, that was last time. Why can't you go, Zach?
I don't have a right.
Oh.
He's honest with you.
Probably could have gone around anyway.
I don't want to be here tomorrow.
Okay.
I won't be here tomorrow.
Or I might
be for the first 4 periods.
Anyway, so sectional plane. So this looks like three-dimensional object. All right, transverse section. This is section running horizontal to the body axis. Okay. Can run anywhere inferior, superior, can go anywhere up and down like this. They're often in a horizontal plane. They run left to right. There you go. All right. A frontal or coronal plane will run perpendicular with the body. It runs parallel to the axis of the body. It divides the body into ventral and dorsal sections, front and back. Sagittal plane divides the body into left and right sections. It will parallel the axis of the body, just like a frontal plane, but it divides it into left and right and not front and back. Okay. This picture is showing a mid-sagittal plane, and mid-sagittal plane runs directly down the midline of the body. There's parasagittal planes that are sort of off center. They're lateral to the median of the body. Parasagittal plane. Now, those are the ones that are used in imaging techniques. Oblique, I think your book might talk about like an oblique section, but that would be something sort of random, and they don't really take images like that from the imaging machines we'll talk about. But doctors need to understand what an oblique section would look like if they were presented with a patient, for example, that had a gunshot wound that entered like right up here and then exited down here. So they have to imagine the path of the body it took, what organs it might have hit, what should they do right away to try to save this person's life. They need to know that like right away. Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I'm noticing in all your examples of the planes, they don't ever come to the head. Is that like on purpose?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so a plane would go to the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what? Yeah.
I know, but I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know why I gave them that. Okay. Body cavities. This is talked about in your packet, right? There's a picture in your packet of the body cavities.
Oh, it's number 1.
Are you back from USC?
Oh, it's number 1.
Page 10. You can take some notes on here if you want to. It might help.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Body cavities. So body cavities are internal chambers of the body that hold your vital organs. There's two main, well, there's a number of different body cavities. So the body cavities in general, they are surrounded by membranes. Depending on the cavity, it has a different membrane. We'll talk about them. And they allow the organs to change shape and size without causing pain. Generally in a frictionless environment because there's fluid surrounding the organs. What organs change shape and size like all the time?
The bladder and the lungs.
Your bladder, your lungs. What'd you say? Stomach? Yeah.
No, that actually hurts after a while.
Well, you eat too much. Your heart? Page 10, I think, in your packet. Your lungs, yeah. We said that. Your diaphragm is moving up and down. Yeah, but you don't do what? All of your muscles, right. Yeah. So you don't feel these things. I mean, thank goodness. That would be weird.
The bladder expansion was weird looking.
Yeah.
Like there was a Mythbusters thing where they got a big bladder and they tried to see if they could explode it. And it like not really big.
So there's two main cavities we're going to talk about, dorsal and ventral, and then within the ventral and dorsal there are sort of subcavities. So if we look on a lateral view, we'll talk about the dorsal body cavity. Okay, dorsal means on the back side of the body. All right, that includes the cranial cavity, which has your brain. Okay, and then your spinal cavity, or vertebral cavity that your spinal cord is in.
So is that how you can break a vertebrae and not actually mess with the spinal cord?
Yes. All right, that body cavity protects or both of those combined, your dorsal body cavity protects your central nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord. Those are essential to your life functions. If you damage part of your spinal cord, you will be paralyzed from that particular point down. And obviously your brain, you really need your brain to live. We do a whole unit on your nervous system later. All right, so the ventral body cavity includes the thoracic cavity and the abdominopelvic cavity. So here we are, our thoracic cavity up here, and your abdominopelvic cavity is this large one down here. The thoracic cavity contains your heart and your lungs, and the abdominopelvic cavity can be further subdivided into the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. And depending on which one we're talking about, it has different organs, and we'll talk about those in a little while. Yeah, basically all of your, here we go, over here. Yeah, you have your liver, your stomach, most of your large intestines, the majority of your small intestines, your pancreas, your gallbladder, pelvic cavity, your reproductive organs, your bladder, part of your appendix maybe, part of your rectum and your rectum and then part of your large intestine. We'll come back to this in a little bit. Yeah, the major digestive organs are in your abdominal cavity. There's no picture. I can like it better actually. There you go.
So,
And then the pelvic, your bladder, and your reproductive organs. All of them are your girl, most of them are boy. Okay. So let's see. The thoracic cavity, let's go back up there. The thoracic cavity is surrounded by your ribs. It really protects your lungs and your heart. And you also have muscles in your chest. And you have muscles in between your ribs too. Mr. Sablo one time pulled the muscles in between some of his ribs and it hurt him to breathe. Kind of weird. I don't know how he did it.
that's another.
It's not really hard. A lot of times people get a car accident or something like that.
What's the actual thing? Is the actual bone?
No, it's usually the muscular tissue around it.
Okay.
So you can't really bruise a bone. You can break a bone or have tiny fractures. We'll talk about that later. You can't really bruise it. Bruising a bone, usually you're gonna damage have like a small fracture or something like that. Like a bone itself is the tissue around it. A bruise, it happens like the capillaries would have to break and it's just the tissue around it. So you can hit something really hard and maybe all this around it. You can do micro fractures on the bone, and that can hurt. And so that would be like a bruise, but that would be a full fracture.
What did the nurse tell you first?
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, that was funny.
In your thoracic cavity, I'm going to talk more details up here. Okay, so notice we're going to talk about your heart and your lungs. So let's talk about your heart first. Your heart, well, actually, let me show this picture. All the organs in your abdominal, pelvic, and your thoracic cavity are surrounded by membranes. And the picture on the top kind of shows you how it happens. So imagine a water balloon, okay? One that's not completely full, you can punch your hand into. So you punch your hand into the water balloon. So there's a part of the balloon that's out here, and then there's a part of the balloon that's directly surrounding your fist, right? And in between that part of the balloon is surrounding your wrist, and then the rest of the balloon is fluid, water. Okay? That's analogous to what happens in your body. So let's say this fist is actually your heart. Okay? So there's a membrane directly surrounding your heart that kind of goes back around the cavity, the body cavity that holds the heart, and then there's fluid in there called serous fluid. The function of the fluid is to allow the heart to change shape, to pump in a frictionless environment so there is no pain, changes shape. So the name of the membrane that surrounds the heart and then the cavity the heart is in is called the pericardium. You need to know this. I think, was this in your packet somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So parietal versus visceral, and no matter where we're talking about in the body, parietal versus visceral is going to have the same connotation. All right, so where do we have? Here kind of shows a little bit better. So the visceral pericardium is the part of the membrane that is directly surrounding the heart in here. So visceral, anywhere you're talking about, is directly surrounding the organ. Yeah.
What's it called? The epicardium?
Oh, yeah, you could. And then the parietal, whatever you're talking about, surrounds the cavity itself. So here we have the parietal pericardium. And in between the two visceral versus parietal pericardium, you have the pericardial cavity, and there is the fluid. There you go. So the pleural cavity contains the lungs, and you have a left and right pleural cavity for a left and right lung. Okay. And anytime you see the word pleural, you should think lungs. So here we go. So the parietal versus the visceral pleura are the membranes that surround the lung, the cavity, and then the lungs itself. Makes sense? Okay. So again, parietal and visceral, same connotations, but the pleura is the membrane here versus the pericardium is the membrane that surrounds the heart. Yeah.
Is there still serous fluid?
Yes. Surrounding the lungs, yes. And then the pleural cavity versus the pericardial cavity, the space in between the visceral and the parietal that contains the fluid. Yep. Okay. And then you have the same kind of thing in your abdominal pelvic cavity. And here it's called the peritoneum. The membrane is called the peritoneum. So the parietal versus visceral peritoneum. What's interesting, a lot of, did they show it in here? Not really. But you can kind of see the membrane. So, and then the peritoneal cavity. There you go. 39. Is that 38 when the bell rings? 39. Okay, good. All right, we're doing pretty well. Pretty much covered all those.
Thorax.
I won't give you a diagram like this on your test. It was in your packet. I just want to show you. What kind of a section would this be? Transverse. Yep. Okay. So moving on, is this in your packet too?
Yes.
So your abdominopelvic cavity, sort of looking at the anterior side of the body, you're going to have the abdominal region divided into different sections. And this, I imagine, like I'm going to think about you now with your appendix. So when a doctor has a patient presenting to them with pain in a particular part of their abdomen, the doctor's immediately going to think, oh, well, that's in the right iliac region. What organs are in that region? What could this be? Blah, 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 blah. And they'll kind of go from there, okay? Or if they're trying to communicate with another physician, another hospital, or on the phone, this patient's presenting with pain and swelling in the epigastric region, blah, blah, blah. So the doctors are on the same page. They both know what's over there, what's under there, and they can kind of go from there. So anyway, it's divided into 4 large quadrants, and then those quadrants, this whole thing is further subdivided into 9 regions. So you need to know the quadrants and the regions. It'll be on your test. It's in your packet. I'll talk about them now. But so the quadrants, we have right and upper and lower quadrants. That's sort of easy. Right and left, upper and lower. You should generally know what organs are in those quadrants. So right upper quadrant, we have our liver. What's this green thingy? Your gallbladder. We have part of your stomach. We have some large intestines here. In your right upper quadrant, you have left upper. You have your stomach. Whoa. You can have your pancreas is kind of back there. You can have spleen kind of back up here. Large intestines, maybe a little bit of your small intestines. Most of your small intestines are in your lower quadrant, right versus left lower. Your right lower has your what we call ascending colon, where it comes up. Your appendix would be down here. This is small intestines, and then left, this is your transverse colon, and then descending colon would be right here. You don't see it on this picture, but that's in your left lower, more intestines, and notice part of your bladder is down here as well. And productive organs would be down here. Well, this is your pelvic cavity, like down here. And then the regions. Okay, hypochondriac, epigastric, hypochondriac. So right versus left hypochondriac. Umbilical would be directly in the middle where your umbilical cord would be. That's kind of easy to remember. And then lumbar, you think about your lower back sort of in the middle. That's how you can remember lumbar to be in the middle. Yeah, Roy.
Which would the kidneys be the right, I mean, the upper or the lower?
They actually might move down into the majority of them would be in the upper quadrant. So they would probably descend a little bit into the lower. But they'd be on the dorsal side. Yeah.
So like, let's say a doctor was talking about the umbilical region. Would they ever reference quadrants and regions at the same time? So the right upper quadrant and
Of the umbilical region, they might. Yeah. Because that would give someone even a more, like, that is the umbilical region. You know, so it might give someone an indication, like, it's up here versus up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they might. Yeah.
What organs are typically found in the right lower region? Quadrant?
Right lower quadrant right over here.
Yeah.
So we have, so have your ascending colon. So it's a part of your large intestines that your small intestines attaches to your large intestines, like right over here. So the path of like feces, basically, or your stuff, it goes this way, over, down, out. So they call it ascending because it's going up. Transverse and descending, and then sigmoid colon and then rectum. So anyways, ascending colon, then you have a lot of your small intestines, a little bit of your bladder, and stuff. Tomorrow you have the entire class period to work on your project, which is due beginning of class on Monday. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Your quiz is Monday as well.
Oh no, wait, you're a JSHS. That's okay, that works.
So you have to do like the planes of the cavities too.
What do you mean? On the quiz?
No, on the project.
Yes, all of it. Yeah.